Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, I guess. This is like my first actual legitimate YouTube video, and today we're going to talk about how cruising is going to change because of coronavirus. And obviously there are so many different things that are going into this, but we'll touch on the basics, the things everyone's wondering, the questions everyone wants answered. So we'll go over that stuff, and if you don't know, I have an Instagram all about cruising, Cam's Cruise Reviews, so I'll link it below. Look me up there. I have two previous videos here, but I mean, they're just like me playing around. Like, I know nothing about this stuff, so we're gonna do it together. But okay, so the first thing, which was first on my mind, was buffets. So how are buffets going to change? Well, let me tell you. So typically a lot of people cruise for buffets. You know, it's like, it's the food that's included along with the main dining rooms, obviously. But like for me, like first thing I do when I get on a ship, I go to the buffet and immediately like stack my plate with a bunch of stuff I probably won't eat, but like it's just the point of going and doing it. It's like, wow, I am on a cruise. Like you go to the buffet, you just do it. You probably know what I'm talking about. So anyways, so how's the buffet gonna change? I mean, granted, none of this is like totally set in stone, but we can be pretty sure, right? Buffets are no longer going to be self-serve. Now, is this like the future for cruising? Like, is this a forever kind of deal? Don't know, but it'll still be there. That's the important part. So like, if you're wondering, you know, is my cruise gonna be the same? Should I spend money right now in 2020 for next year? You know, if I can't do the same things. But my answer to you is, yeah, I mean, the buffet is gonna be there, but you're gonna have crew members serving you. The only thing I can foresee maybe becoming an issue would be like lines at the buffet, but they're typically there to begin with, right? So yeah, that's my whole thing with buffets, which I hope it gets figured out, and I hope it's easy, it's simple, because I know a lot of people are like, is there gonna be a buffet? And I'm like, well, yeah, I would hope so. But so that would definitely be like the first big thing. I think second will be capacity. So typically like cruise lines they're selling ships like all the way. So like as in it's always gonna be full, you're always sailing full to capacity. I'd be surprised if like lines weren't doing that, just because, right, it's how they make money, you know? You sell the ship out. But now we can pretty much guarantee that these ships are not gonna be sailing to capacity, which understandable, right? Like in this new age of coronavirus, I don't wanna be bumping toe to toe, like, you know, whatever that saying is, toe to toe, face to, don't know. But anyways, I don't wanna do it. So I'm all about reducing capacity. I think the question comes in as, you know, is it gonna be like 70% capacity, is it gonna be 50%? And not just that, but is it also going to be a scenario where if you're already booked and the ship is already, let's just say it's, I don't know, 90% sold right now for early 2021, people get bumped? Right. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to get bumped. I don't think that's the case. Like, I feel like, you know, anyone who's already booked would be fine, but at the same time, if the whole thing is trying to reduce capacity, I feel like they'd have to cut something somewhere. I could be wrong, but that's just going off my own personal belief there, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think, but I think it's a good thing though, because like I said, like, you know, if everyone is on this one ship and we're just starting to cruise again, do I think we should be sailing full capacity with social distancing, you know, and all this new stuff going into place? No, I don't. So yeah, but I think this is probably, aside from the buffet, this is probably the other thing that's crazy on people's minds right now. So do I have to wear a mask or gloves on my cruise? So far, the answer would be no, you don't, but I'm guessing it's gonna be one of those things that's like a guideline of sorts. So like, you know, if we cruise again, well, not if, when, I feel like the CDC is going to say something like, well, you know, we can cruise, it's all good, but, you know, wear a mask at your own risk kind of a thing, which, fine. I don't know if you would cruise if you had to wear a mask. I'm up in the air. Like if I were going to the Caribbean or Hawaii, hot places in Europe, I'm not sure I would want to go because I'm more the kind of person, like I get on a ship and all I want to do is just like sit by the pool, have a drink, and lay down. And you can't really, I mean, I guess you can enjoy that with a mask on, but I've never done it before, so it's like, how do you know? But again, I think it's gonna be one of those things that it's like, you know, at your own, what's the word, like discretion, at your own discretion, wear a mask, you know? In terms of gloves, I really don't see gloves happening. I can fully see like the crew wearing those masks and gloves and stuff. Like I've seen some videos of resorts opening and like the crew has that full setup of like, you know, the shield in front of them and everything. So I can picture that. But yeah, so it's one of those things where I think it's gonna be at your own discretion. But I mean, that's one thing I wanted to ask you. Let me know below. So, you know, comment, you know, would you cruise if you had to wear a mask? Would you cruise if you had to wear gloves? Do you think it's gonna be at your discretion, or are we gonna, like, our cruise is gonna be mandating this? So I think that's one thing we don't know, and one thing you'll probably see when you watch my videos, I can't stop touching my hair. It's just like, it's a thing, sorry. But we're all learning here together, right? Yeah, so the other thing that I think is gonna change is definitely gonna be like embarkation, debarkation for a couple of reasons. So I definitely think we're gonna do health screenings. So like, I think every cruise line is probably gonna have to do the temperature taking, you know, checking ages to like verify how old you are, if you need a doctor's note to travel, if your doctor thinks it's safe for you to travel, you know, if you're like obviously like noticeably ill, you know, I think these are going to be things that are going to be in addition to the health questionnaires, right? Which I think is good. So I definitely think taking the temperature is good because at the end of the day, if you have a temperature nowadays trying to get on a ship, I really think it's probably not in your best interest to go. Not only for your best interest, but like literally everyone on the ship around you, right? So yeah, I definitely think we're gonna have longer lines at embarkation, which is okay. I mean, like for once, we're all gonna have to follow protocol and go at the times we're supposed to. Like usually I show up at like 10 a.m. and get on the ship at 10:15 when I was really supposed to be there at like 1. So I think we're gonna have to stick to those times, which is fine because, you know, we want to be safe, right? So yeah, I mean, temperature, you got to do it. If I had to do it at work, you know, we have to do it. That's something that's not a big deal to me. Like the buffet, as long as it's still there, not a big deal to me. You know, embarkation, not a big deal to me. The one thing is the mask and gloves, I'm like, iffy. The other thing that's like more of this is just like more like, what's the word, like scientific, maybe not even scientific, just like fact. All the cruise lines, like most of them have come out, like Virgin, Norwegian, I think Royal did too, that they're all implementing these new hospital grade air filtration systems, which apparently, now don't quote me for this, like I don't know, I'm not I don't study this stuff, but apparently they're supposed to kill like 99.9% of like germs or bacteria. I don't know. Do you like my cup? Yeah, so air filtration, that's gonna happen. And you know, it's like, I think another big thing is that people are scared about, you know, oh, well, what if I get quarantined? Like, what if I have to stay in my room? I mean, I don't think these people are like thinking that far into it right now. At least that's my opinion, but obviously something's gonna have to happen if that occurs. Like, who knows? But I think these steps so far, how cruising is gonna change, are definitely, you know, a big part of it. And the other thing that I think will change, which falls into capacity, is excursions. So I definitely think that there's gonna be fewer spots to book, which I mean, I think is fine, right? But people will just have to be more on top of, I guess, booking those sooner than later. Like typically I'll book mine, if I book an excursion, probably, I don't know what, like, honestly, I think I booked mine on the cruise. I'm not a big excursion person. Like usually if I cruise, I just like to go off, kind of explore, do my own thing. Unless I'm at like a private island like Coco Cay or Great Stirrup Cay or any of those kind of places, like hop on a jet ski, maybe do snorkeling, something like that. So I just think that capacity is going to be reduced on those for sure. And the other thing, and this is like, I guess this falls into just like being healthy, is temperature checks like all throughout the ship. So like entering public spaces, like going into a show, temperature taken, going to main dining room, temperature taken. And also within those venues, we're definitely going to see social distancing. You know, we're definitely going to see maybe more times available to go do things, because in the theater, you know, there's going to be seats in between, you know, 6 feet apart. Like I definitely think social distancing is going to be huge, because these people, these lines, they don't want us to get sick, right? They want us to come back. They need us to come back. So I definitely think that's going to definitely play into it. You know, sanitization obviously going to be there. Washy. We all know that. So that's definitely going to be big. I think you're going to have to sanitize like literally everywhere you go, which probably should have been the case anyways, but I think it's going to be more enforced now, which is a good thing. And then like lastly, we already talked about testing on the ship, but when you get off, I think this is going to be a big thing. When you get off the ships, I definitely think they're gonna make sure that you are okay. They're gonna take your temperature, gonna see if you're ill. I have heard that there's potentially gonna be COVID tests like readily available, like whether it's on board, before you get on, after you get off, like all that stuff. So I think there's a chance that, you know, that's gonna really happen. So I mean, other than that, I really think those are like the main things. So I guess like my question is, would you cruise with all this stuff changing? Like, are these big things to you? What is a big thing in terms of cruising to you? Like if you're a seasoned cruiser and have been cruising for years and years and years, is this going to sway you one way or another? For me, I've cruised my whole life, and the only thing I potentially foresee swaying me would be having to wear a mask. Like for some reason, I'm so like, day to day, I'm totally cool. Like I'm all about the masks, but I don't think I would want to pay for a vacation and wear one. But again, if it were maybe like a colder cruise, like Alaska, going to Europe more like in the fall, winter times, you know, like stuff like that, I would totally be okay with it. But if I'm trying to just relax by the pool, have a drink, get a tan or something, I don't know if I'd want to wear it. But that's just me. So yeah, so anyways, that's how cruising's definitely gonna change. Let me know below, with all those changes, would you go? What would you do? Definitely, if you like this video, subscribe, like, do all that stuff. And also go to my Instagram, check that out too, because I have a lot of great content, post every day there, stories, all that stuff. But otherwise, that's it for now, and talk soon.